Coach, the pace of the game, is that the difference, do you think, if they just were able to keep the pace down?
We anticipated.
They liked it?
Yeah, we anticipated that. It's hard to speed them up. We knew it would be a low possession game. Their offense affects that greatly, and then they're pretty good defensively too. We had to spend our time in practice trying to handle their splits, their Princeton elements of their offense. And we did a pretty good job of that for the most part. We didn't give up many back doors, handled most of those splits. But then on the other end of the floor, we were just uncomfortable, and the turnovers was the game. The pace, we didn't anticipate speeding them up much, but I didn't anticipate us turning the ball over 17 times. I mean, they don't get out in the passing lanes. They're not an aggressive team. They don't trap much, and we were just throwing it all over the gym.
That second half, they had a stretch of 8 minutes where they didn't make a field goal and their only points were free throws. Was it kind of frustrating that y'all couldn't get some shots to where, because it stayed a 7-point game there for a while, but then y'all just weren't able to cut into it?
Extremely frustrating. I mean, they have those lulls, or they have in some of these games. They built huge leads against Florida Atlantic and Tulsa. I mean, they were up 24 on Tulsa the other day, 16 or 17, I think, on FAU. They do that, but we talked about maybe you find your rhythm a little bit defensively, right? As the game goes on, maybe you get a little feel for how their offense clicks. But I don't know if that was it or not. But yeah, certainly there was a stretch there defensively where we were getting the stops, and then offensively couldn't get the ball in the hole. Again, unforced turnovers were disappointing. It was harder. They're a pretty good defensive team, so we couldn't just get those easy drive kick shots that we like. We took 25 threes, but they weren't as rhythm as we've been getting in other games. We didn't get multiple drive kicks on many possessions. Early in the second half, I mean, I asked our guys literally, how many times did we pass the ball the first 5 or 6 possessions? We had back-to-back turnovers where we didn't pass it. Then we passed it one time and shot it. I mean, the ball just didn't move, and turnovers were the biggest issue, obviously.
Yeah. Looking ahead, Tulsa coming up. Even though it wasn't a great night tonight, what are some things y'all can take from tonight to build on?
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte's not as extreme as Princeton and Air Force when we played against those types of teams. But still, what they do is different than most teams. Their movement, their splits, their Princeton elements. So we'll shift gears right back into Tulsa, who does things a little more traditionally. We can't let this game affect us. We got to practice the right way. I didn't think our practices last week were quite where they needed to be. The 2 practices before Memphis were okay, but not great. Thursday this week wasn't what we needed. Yesterday was pretty good, but we need 2 really good practices. Monday, and then we'll travel, and we get a good one at Tulsa on Tuesday. We need to jump right back in here. We're in a stretch right now. We're playing a lot of the top teams. We need to find a way to get a couple wins here. February, the schedule comes back to us a little bit, but we need to win ball games. Got it.
Thanks, Steve.